Are there any people who genuinely don't use social media? Not really counting Reddit, but do you guys know people who genuinely don't use any social media? I'm not talking about super introverted people, but I'm talking about regular social people who have a good circle of friends but just don't use social media. Does anyone like this exist? I was about to answer me, but then you said you meant only people with friends, and now I'm sad. This could have been my answer. I use X for my work, not as social media. Yes, that's possible. And I use Reddit, which of course is more social media than many would want to admit. It's social media without the pictures. And with anonymity, if you want it, which makes it both better and worse than other social media. Also, I think Reddit, at least in most subs, is a little better moderated than Facebook or X. I think the anonymity and de-individualization makes it a lot different from standard SM. On most other social media, your user account and some sort of brand or personal identity is a key aspect of what membership in the network does. Facebook, it's your real name. Instagram, it's often a brand. The personal profile is an important page. On Reddit, two people can respond to the same comment thread, and the original commenter doesn't even realize they're talking to more than one person until one of them says, "I'm not the one who said that." Nobody even looks at your username most of the time, and fishing into someone's history is considered, at best, an occasionally necessary evil to glean context, but usually distasteful and unwarranted makes you look like you're losing the point. Yeah, this is how I feel. Another point is Reddit is based on topics, subreddits, rather than individuals just posting to their own pages. You don't follow people, you follow shower thoughts or polls or mildly infuriating. You can have successful, popular posts without a single viewer ever learning your username because they just found it on a centralized hub, a subreddit, or the popular tab. You don't follow people, you follow shower thoughts or polls or mildly infuriating. Yeah, this is another great way to put it. The user isn't the primary particle of the system. Exactly. The user isn't the focus, the topic is. And even though people farm karma, mostly it isn't just a popularity contest. I've always seen Reddit as the successor to classic forums. It's a forum for everything, all in one place, and I mostly interact with it in the same way I used to with more specialized forums. I don't know a single user on Reddit. I don't follow any particular person. I don't even notice if user X has posted in sub A as well as sub B. I wouldn't call it social media at all. Even more than that, I wouldn't probably share my Reddit username with people I know in real life. I definitely wouldn't. My friends would get scared seeing more than 2 lines of text in English, so it wouldn't be a problem, lol. I keep telling people Reddit is the last corner of the old-style web. All the new stuff is complete garbage. YouTube comments are the Wild West still. I was literally just thinking about how, when I first used the internet, we logged on at our house through the local library, and all that was out there were forums, message boards. That was IT. And back to the topic at hand. As for me, 43F, I find myself using social media less and less because of the overall cringe factor of it all. And why are all my friends sharing the same meme? Ugh. I'm down to Instagram. I deleted Facebook. Twitter is dying. I'm there to watch it burn. I wish Threads would work, but meh. And because of all that, I ended up here, back where I started in 1995. Anonymous forums. We used to call this kind of site a forum or message board. Ah, those were the days. Damn, reading that made me feel old. I miss chat rooms, real-time responses from the people who were in the room. Then people started sexting so much in the main rooms, which were supposed to be safe from that sort of thing, and I just quit using them. Sometimes just to confuse people, you'd call it an image message forum or image board, since it has the capacity to host and share images. Lots of forums didn't do that back in the day. Rip to the countless photo links forever broken when PhotoBucket got greedy. Back when we had no idea that in our lifetime, the phone, modem, computer, and monitor would be combined into a device the size of a bar of chocolate that you could carry around in your pocket to access those boards wirelessly from anywhere. Woof, this sent me on a nostalgia spiral. You won't always have a calculator in your pocket. Exactly, I'll have a calculator, phone, television, PS calendar, weather report in my pocket. Made me literally lol because I can hear a particular teacher saying those words. Man, I still miss IMDb. Only the most popular movies and TV shows get significant discussion on Reddit. This! It's not the people I'm interested in, but the venue. It's like all these little clubs I can pop in and out of at will and no social obligation to stay. Also, you can switch accounts occasionally to keep your comments from identifying you. There's apps out there can build a profile based on your comment history. Some of the profiles are pretty accurate with how much information we accidentally hand out. Do you know any apps that do this? Got me curious about what it would say about my profile. A fake most don't like to advertise ever since Reddit locked down the number of API calls each app can do because of REN dollars. The more they bring attention to themselves, the more they will get special attention from Pez and his team. You're saying there's an app for that? There's apps out there. Pray tell. What apps? Wait, are you saying that people are too lazy to build themselves a SM profile, so they enlist the help of an app to do it for them? I never knew this was a thing. RedditMetis.com, RedditMetis.com. Reddit Metis gets the list of the last 1,000 comments and 1,000 submissions of a Reddit account and visually shows user statistics. The site also infers a Reddit profile's attributes and possessions, e.g. people in your family, gender, places you've lived in, etc., by individually reading comments and submissions using natural language processing techniques. Jokes on them, I used accounts that I bought off farms and some that probably belonged to dead terrorists. I'm curious why you would bother to buy an account. Name does, check out, interesting and scary. I never understood people giving their real name on Facebook. Why would you give your real name on any social media? Well, for one thing, because that's one of the terms and conditions to use Facebook. People sometimes get kicked off for using a fake name, and there was a whole issue with what was considered the real name of trans people and how much proof to require. I think they started allowing name changes only every X amount of time or something like that. But also because that's how Facebook was always advertised, to stay in touch or catch up with the people you know in real life, but maybe don't see much anymore. Doesn't really work for that if you use a random name and people can't find you out of the blue based on information from 5 years ago, last they saw you. At the time, it was a contrast to most internet communities, which were more like Reddit, using pseudonymous usernames and assuming that you were talking to strangers. Many people use Facebook precisely to get in contact with old friends and classmates. Using a fake name would defeat the purpose. It was really weird starting on Facebook for the first time. I did so at a time where you still needed to have a college network and/or alumni to join, and went from being someone posting anonymously on message boards to that. The lack of anonymity on so much of it still scares me, especially as I've met people internationally who I wouldn't want to have those personal details about me. I do see Reddit as different because you follow topics instead of people. I also find it really easy to block topics when I find that the sub has a negative vibe. Depends on the sub, but absolutely. My feeling also, but pretty new to the thing. Only active for 1 month or so. I think keeping the medias out of it plays a big part on thinning the crop. I also feel it is pretty well moderated. First thread I ever posted was immediately removed, lol, which pissed me off quite a bit at the time. I feel Reddit is less reactionary, on top of being less crowded. Don't mean it isn't, but so far I have had thoughtful discussions here, which cannot be said for all socials. Edit. Plus the troll comments threads are usually quite funny, so. You can have anonymity on places like Twitter too, though. There's tons of people out there who use it without revealing any personal details about themselves. Just look at the average artist account, for example. Anonymity isn't as unique to Reddit as people make it out to be. I don't understand why people are talking about Reddit like the anonymity sets it apart. Twitter and Tumblr can be used just as anonymously. IIRC, only Facebook requires you to make an account based on your IRL identity. And of course, outside of Reddit and the major platforms, there are a ton of smaller web forums and other sites that allow you to socialize anonymously. I find myself coming to Reddit more for the quality of community you can find. Yeah, some of it's shite, but unlike Twitter, you know that the most fucking dumb people on the site can't just pay to have their comments yeeted to the top of the pile. I call it antisocial social media. So it's a forum then. Forums existed before social media and weren't considered social media. Reddit is just a massive forum. It's basically Usenet with up-down voting and slightly better moderation. The difference with Reddit is the anonymity and the customization of your newsfeed. You make it to what you want to see and not what others post, thus making it less toxic, MO. There are still the toxic corners and extremely biased corners of Reddit. It's just a lot easier to avoid. I'm just glad I don't have to see someone's dinner or another bloody selfie on here. Plus, the ads on Facebook and Instagram are ridiculous, more ads than content. I use the messenger services in those. But that's actually about it. Reddit for doom scrolling is the way forward. Bloody selfie? In my short experience of using Reddit, I feel every sub is biased to its users. With the whole upvote downvote, only the shared common opinion of each sub is tolerated. It's one of the things I don't like about Reddit. I'm interested in the opinions of those I disagree with. True. Certain subreddits are filled with people who have their bias and making comments that disagree but still offer good debate criticisms, which are worthy of an upvote, will get downvoted/disagreed. My friends have asked me what my handle is on Reddit. Like I'm gonna fucking let them know the real me. Lol. It's totally social media. It's a website that allows people to share thoughts, ideas, and other content with one another through interactive creation. Edit, and there's nothing inherently wrong with social media, in case someone thinks I'm trying to make some sort of weird morality statement. I use those two only as well, just Reddit and X. I left FB about 8 years ago and IG beginning of last year. Never got into TikTok or Snap. These two apps have less contacts for me. Something about being on social media and people always feeling like they have access to you 24/7. I didn't enjoy that. Now I choose who has access to me and when, etc. Just more peaceful in general and more free time. This is how I felt leaving Instagram. Too much access to my life, and in reality, none of those people truly knew who I was. Soul-sucking. Reddit is 100% social media. I agree, it's a form of social media. I don't have any other than Reddit, but I feel that it's very much different than Insta or FB. Where Insta and FB friends and family, employers know if you have profile or not. With Reddit, no one has to know. If there was a way to identify me on Reddit, I'd be sure I wouldn't have it either. Yes, in Reddit, I can discuss on topics. For Instagram, I have to take a photo, then maybe edit it to make it Insta-friendly, then post. Why do I have to post? So that people can see. Why do I need people to see? So that they can like, share, and comment on that photo. Here, I don't have to go through all that. People doesn't have to like or agree my comment also, but I still get to share on topics. I just really like reading the crazy fucking stories posted. Like the one that just got posted about the dude using Coke and Mentos up his ass. When in the world would you read anything else like it? Or Agatha, or any of the crazy stories. I'm on disability, have a lot of surgeries, and I have chronic debilitating pain, so Reddit is my saving grace at 2 a.m. when I want to die. FB and Instagram are all about images, and they just feel like other people are trying to portray their life as so perfect. Reddit is all about discussing and talking about things. It creates thoughtful and provocative discussions and exposes me to other people's way of thinking. I think that's what I like most about the site, is it's not just an echo chamber. I tend to read popular, so I can see what's trending. I think you're right to a large extent that the site isn't an echo chamber, but some subs definitely are. The quality of the comments is infinitely better, and anyone who disagrees probably doesn't spend a lot of time reading through the comments on literally any viral Facebook post, or Instagram Reel comments, or TikTok comments. I really need to stop reading social media comments. I have a morbid fascination. That's why I love Reddit. I love the comments and the stories. When my husband shows me a reel on his FB or YT, I immediately annoy him by going to the comments. Yes, I want to know what other people think. I just imagine they are all 13 years old, so I'm not emotionally affected, haha. Reddit definitely counts as social media, which means if you're reading this, you are a social media user. Same, although Elmo going bananas means I will not log back in. It has just become a shit show. InfoSec Twitter was fantastic, as long as you stayed in a very small circle and never read responses unless posted by the same people, and definitely never go to trending topics or general discussions. Jesus, what a cesspool. InfoSec-wise, Mastodon can't keep up, neither can Blue Sky, nor Reddit. Sorry, InfoSec Reddit is mostly crap. The scene is fragmented now, and I am not sure if the herd will migrate together again. Deleted Facebook many moons ago, use a ton of messengers, but exclusively with friends. Never had Insta, Snapchat, or TikTok. LinkedIn, a public CV. People who post or message there are insane. I get most mileage out of Signal with my friends and at times WhatsApp with my extended family. The Instagramization of WhatsApp does not interest me. But Reddit, well, Reddit is insane and beautiful and horrible and wholesome and everything in one. I think Reddit in spirit is the last bastion of the old internet with all the good and bad, and it's still breathing despite all corporate attempts to kill it. I like Reddit. I thought it was a forum. Forums and message boards were pretty much the precursor to social media. Forums don't quite have a feed, neither troll posts. Threads are better organized, and the types don't blend into one another. There is a random factor on Reddit which distinguishes it from traditional forums, I am sure. It's a bit more enjoyable to me, less formal, if not chaotic. Also, many topics can coexist, which wouldn't be typical on a forum. I've been ignoring forum trolls since the mid-90s. I feel very old now. Been on the internet since it went public, around 1993 to 95. Trolls have always been around. Before social media, we had BBSs, which was nice if you found a local one to dial into. Notice I said dial, since those were the days of dial-up modems at 2400 baud. 56K was blazing fast, LOL. I remember when you were considered bragging or a show-off if you told people you had to go home to check your email. My, how times have changed. What is X? There is no X in Bay Sing Se.